everyone, it's JoJo from Mojo Jojo Plans, and today we're going to be making some DIY prop like photo boards for the cheap. I haven't been to the Dollar Tree in a hot minute, which it's not really the Dollar Tree anymore. I mean, it is, but things don't cost $1 anymore. But I haven't been in a hot minute, and I stumbled upon these. They are like wallpaper pieces there, and then I was like, I don't think I would ever put those like on the actual wall because I'm not convinced that they would actually stay. But I was like, you know what, this might be a really good project to make some new boards for taking photos on for any social media thing. So if you have a social media that you like to post your spreads are, but you're missing having like a nice background, we're just going to kind of go over how you can DIY your own, especially if you don't have a craft store that has the poster boards, because I do buy a lot of my colorful poster boards and stuff from like Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, any one of those. But I kind of like have been wanting more of like a wood one, and a lot of those places don't have a good option to use for those. So I saw these and then I was like, how fun. And there were so many different options. There was at least like 10 different options. I wanted to just go with the wood ones because I think these ones will ultimately look the best. So I'm going to be showing you, these are two different ones. I don't know if you can tell, they're completely different patterns. But we're going to be making two different ones today. And then I'm going to show you what I already made. But all I used was I grabbed one of these poster boards. They're like the thicker foam boards from the Dollar Tree. You technically only need 4 of these per each poster board that you're making. I did buy 5 of each just in case I messed up something, and I was like, I'd rather have an extra than not have an extra. And that's really all you need. Now, I do have a couple other tools that I'm going to be using. So if you already have them on hand, great. But I do have a couple other things. So I decided, I was like, let's make them front and back because I didn't want to have to buy 4 of those poster boards in order to do the 4 designs that I chose. So I actually ended up just buying 2 of them, and I was like, we're going to do front and back. So here is one. Here is the first one I've already done. I wanted to test it out and make sure. I feel like it doesn't look bad. It's like a nice lighter wood. And so if I take a product and like I can, and then I can put it on there and then I can spiffy it up with things around it to take the picture and all that, I feel like it'll look really nice. So that's the first one that I did. And then the second one is this one, which this one I was like, I started with this one first because I was like, I feel like if any of them that I'm going to mess up, it's going to be this one. And this one actually was really easy. And the nice thing about these is they lined up perfectly. So I just made sure I was using the same exact part every single time I started it, which I'll show that. But I feel like it looks really well. You can't really see the seam. The seam is right here. I mean, I feel like you can kind of see it to some degree. Like there's not really much we can do about that. But it lines up really nicely. And I feel like most of the time I'm probably going to have stuff over the seam. So you won't notice it, as much. So anyway, so that's the first 2 designs. We're going to be making the second 2 designs together just so I can kind of walk you through how I did that. So the first thing I needed to do was prep my board. And what I mean by that is on the board, you're going to have this little price sticker. You don't want to leave that on there because it's going to make it bumpy, lumpy, all the things. And I was thinking I was like, oh crap, how am I going to get this off without completely ruining the poster board? Well, ta-da, undo. Once again, I'm like addicted to this stuff. It works like a charm. So I'm actually just going to drop this, and it does dry. So don't worry about ruining the poster board. I was kind of worried about that too. And then I did it with the other one and it was just like amazing. I'm going to give it like, I don't know, 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. It's on there. You can see it's shiny. And then once I give it a little bit of time, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to just help lift it. And then it's just going to peel right off. Like it was never there. Look at that. It came off so clean. And the crazy thing about undo is this sticker, once it's dry, it'll be able to stick on something again, which is mind-blowing to me. I'm just going to take a tissue and I'm just going to wipe off all the excess. And that is going to dry. it'll dry, it'll not look like I did anything to it, but now I like literally have the sticker, it's in perfect condition. Undo, if I can find it on Amazon, because I believe that's where I got it from, I will link it down below because I'm literally addicted to Undo. So it's an addiction at this point. Okay, so we have my poster board. Let's start with our first pattern, which I think is going to be this one. This one I'm kind of worried about. This one might be a little difficult. So I have 4 sheets. Okay, so we're only going to need 4, and we're going to have to be able to do some trimming. So the thing that I found to be the easiest, and the nice thing about this, is it does have an area that is already pre-cut for you, so you could just take off that one strip. Do not try to take off the entire backing because you will mess it up. I was about to do that, and then I realized it had this like crack and peel section here, and I was like, wow, that just makes it so much easier. So the first one is actually the easiest to lay down. So I'm going to pull my poster board, and if my head pops in here, just ignore it. But I'm just going to pull this off. So this is the sticky part. We're going to pull that off. I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to line this up with the edges here. Sorry, I got to get close. I think my head's going to end up being, or my hair, or something's going to end up being in the camera. But once I've laid it down where I think is good, I'm going to push that down just like so. Super easy. I was like blown away how easy this was, you guys. Okay, and then we're going to flip this back, and what you're going to do is you're going to pull on the backing sheet so that we kind of have a hold of it, and then we're going to flip it back. You're going to take something flat, either like a ruler. I'm just using an old gift card, and then you're just going to push it down. And as you're pushing down, I'm also simultaneously pulling on the sheet backing and pulling it from underneath and pulling out. And this is just going to make sure you don't have any of like those bubbles in there. And voila, first piece is down. I swear, the first piece is literally the easiest. Once you do that, it's just like about lining up the rest of the design. Okay, then we're going to do this next part. So I'm going to take another one, and I'm going to keep the crack and peel the same exact. And we're just going to line it up with that one. And the nice thing is it has a little bit of that black border on both. So it kind of just makes it look like a little bit of a thicker line. But I think for this one, we're not going to see the line as much, like especially this way. It might see it this way, but definitely this way. I think it definitely blends in really nicely. And the nice thing is the crack and peel is still in that same spot. So I just line it up with that same exact side every time, with the side that I can do the crack and peel first. So then we're just going to go in, and I'm going to do my best to line this up as well as I can. Sorry, I get silent because I'm like, I'm focusing. We're focusing, but this was so easy. And if you're only doing like one design, it's a pretty cheap project. And again, yes, you could probably get the poster boards cheaper at other places, but if you don't have those other places, but you have a Dollar Tree, and there's also not this many options I've found, like at Michael's and Joann's and Hobby Lobby, there's not this many choices, especially of the wood background. So I was just excited to get new options. So again, doing the same thing, pulling that out, and then we're gonna just make sure this is nice and flat. Now I do have some hangover here. So to cure that hangover, which you definitely could cut it off before, like you could do the whole measuring, blah, 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 do all that stuff before. I hate measuring, so I'm not going to do that. So I just have like my little cutting thing, so that way I don't slice through my desk. And I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to run it down and cut off the rest. And then we'll just take that off and then discard that because we don't need that little piece. I feel like I have no space. And then there we go. So it's so easy. Literally took, I don't know, that took like less than what, like 4 minutes to do those pieces. And then we just do the same thing on the other side. So now we have to line it up with 2 things. We're lining up the top, and then we're also lining up this. So I'm going to go in, and I want to make sure all of these lines that are a part of the wood are matching up before I actually push anything down. I feel like that's pretty decent. Get those nice and lined up, and then we follow the same thing. I peel it back, and then I'm going to take my card, and then we're just going to push it down. Boom. So easy. I feel like that crease really isn't, it's like pretty non-existent. I mean, I can see it just because I know where I put it down, but for the most part, it's not bad. And then again, I flip it, get out my little thing. I don't have a ton of room on my desk, so I'm like having to maneuver in such weird ways to get this board on here. But then I just go in and I cut off the excess. You could save this till the end, but I just don't want it getting stuck on anything, which is why I do it now. Okay, and then we have one last piece. One final piece. So again, taking off where it's already cut for you. And then we just go in and we line it up. Ooh. I'm making sure these lines are what's lining up, because I feel like that's more important than just lining just the top. So you kind of have to make sure you're looking at everything. But these lines are all, you know, in line with each other. And then last step, pull that out. Ah, so easy, and we were already done with that one. All I have to do is trim it. So easy. Okay, my desk is at the weirdest angle right now. Literally have to, like, there's so much stuff on my desk that I don't have room to just like have the poster board just on here flat. So it is what it is. Okay. Boom. And then we're done with that side. So this side is ready to go to take pictures on, put product on. Boom, now I can take, you know, a nice picture of that with that. Okay, now we have one more. So that was super quick. So it's really easy, and I feel like it was kind of hard to like mess it up. I think the most important thing was just making sure I was lining things up. But yeah, so now when we flip it over, there's no more wet stain from that undo. I don't know what corner it was, but none of the corners are wet anymore. It's dried. It's basically just evaporated. So now we're going to go in with this one and see how this one looks. So again, it has that little crack and peel section. We're going to start in the top corner first. Just line it up where I'm thinking I want it. Lay that down. And then we'll go in and we'll peel off the backing. So easy. And this is like, actually, like the stuff on here is actually pretty thick. I feel like in the past Dollar Tree has had some stuff like this and it's been super thin and flimsy, and then that's when it's easy to mess up. But this is actually pretty decently thick paper. Like it's thick. It's not flimsy. Like I've already peeled off that piece and it's not flimsy. So I think that's pretty cool, because I have used flimsy paper in the past and it is really hard to get it to line up right, and then you get bubbles in it and all that stuff, which isn't fun. But I feel like this brand particularly is pretty decent. I feel like I can hear a bubble, but maybe not. Can I hear a bubble? It's really hard to see. I can't see on that side. So I'm just hoping I'm going in somewhat of a straight line. I'm trying to just like rest it up against the foam board because I don't care if I cut the foam. I don't take pictures all the way up to like the very edge anyway. So, okay, half of it done. We're almost there. We just gotta do the other side now. So easy. So simple. All right, we're lining up all of the lines, not just the top, but the lines here as well. Before we lay that down. Once we're lined up, we flip it, we pull the backing. Now I'm kind of like wondering, I'm like, maybe this would work well on a wall. I don't have any walls to put it on, so I can't really test that theory. My walls in my office are literally covered by all the things, so it'd be too much effort. And my walls are very, very, like, they're wood, and they have like a very wood texture. So I don't think it would stick. But I'm like wondering, like, my window seals though. I could put it like on the frames of my windows. I don't know if I would actually do that, but that's like the only place in my office I would be able to like test them out because those are the only smooth surfaces in my office. But this stuff is pretty decent. I'm pleasantly surprised with how well this stuff works. Okay, we have one more little section and then we're all done. So easy. Again, gonna line it up, focusing more on these lines than the other lines. Right about there is good. And just smooth that out. And like I said, there were lots of other patterns too. There were some that had like some gold foiling on them. There was brick. There was like literally the possibilities of what you could be taking your pictures on are endless. There were so many options. I might actually, now that I know how well this stuff works, I'm like, I might go back and get some more because this was so easy to do. I'm pleasantly surprised with this project. It's one of those things where I kind of got it and I was like, oh, this could be fun. I might as well just like film the process. And it turned out so much easier than I thought it would. Okay, now I can get rid of all the things on my desk. All right, so there's that one. So easy. Dollar Tree, y'all. Dollar Tree if you want to get some new like wood looking boards, or like I said, there is brick. There's also something else too as well, but you only need 4 of those sheets if you're confident that you're not going to mess it up. I was not confident that I was going to mess it up, so now I just have 4 more or 1 more each of all these because I bought 5 because I was like, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I got 5 of them. These could also work if you're just wanting to like mix them. I might just save them if I kind of want to mix some things when I'm taking a photo. Like maybe I want to have a little bit of like a different look in there, and then when I crop it, you know, you would only see that, but then it would kind of give another look. So I feel like I might just save these because I could use them for pictures as well. But there we go, guys. I just wanted to show you this because I haven't been to the Dollar Tree in a hot minute. I saw these and I was curious about the quality of them. I feel like the quality is pretty decent. I'm pleasantly surprised with how, you know, nice the quality is. And now I have like 4 new backdrops that I can use for taking pictures. So I'll have to start testing these out with some pictures and see how that goes. But there you go, you guys. If in case you don't have a Michael's, a Joann's, a Hobby Lobby or something, but you have access to a Dollar Tree, here's a fun way to make you know, some backdrops for you. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you in my next one. Bye.